When a building is damaged by war, by fire, by the slow violence of neglect, should it be restored to its original state as precisely as possible, scrubbed clean of everything that happened to it, returned to an imagined moment of pristine completion? Or should it be allowed to retain the marks of what it endured, to carry its history in its surfaces, to exist in the present as a layered record of time, rather than a simulation of a single vanished moment? These are not merely technical questions about conservation methodology. They are philosophical questions about the nature of authenticity, about what we owe to the past, about whether architecture can and should tell the truth about what happened to it. The Neues Museum in Berlin, restored and partially reconstructed by David Chipperfield architects in collaboration with the conservation specialist Julian Harrap, and reopened in 2009 after decades of ruin and deliberate abandonment, is the most searching and fully realized architectural answer to these questions that the 21st century has so far produced. It is a building that decided, with extraordinary conviction and considerable intellectual courage, that the honest response to a century of damage was neither erasure nor theatrical reconstruction but something far more demanding, a practice of careful distinction, of making the new legible as new while allowing the old to remain legible as old, of treating the building's wounds not as defects to be concealed but as evidence to be respected. To understand what Chipperfield and Harrap achieved, and why it matters so profoundly for the discipline of architectural conservation, it is necessary to understand what the Neues Museum is, what happened to it, and what its condition was when the restoration project began. The building was originally designed by Friedrich August Stüler, a student of Carl Friedrich Schinkel, and was completed in 1855 on the Museum Island in central Berlin, a cluster of monumental cultural institutions arranged on a narrow island in the River Spree that had been developing since the early 19th century as one of the great museum complexes of the world. Stüler's building was a museum of Egyptian antiquities and prehistoric artifacts, and it was, from its completion, one of the most ambitious and sumptuously decorated museum interiors in Europe. The interior program was organized around a sequence of rooms each designed in a different historical style corresponding to the collections they housed, with elaborate fresco cycles, polychrome decorative schemes, and spatial sequences of considerable formal invention. The Egyptian court at the heart of the building was a room of particular grandeur, a top-lit hall of extraordinary spatial quality that housed the museum's most important ancient Egyptian collections, and that was designed with the kind of historical empathy and spatial intelligence that characterized the best German museum architecture of the period. The building was severely damaged by Allied bombing in the final years of the Second World War. Large sections of the structure were destroyed or left in a critical state of instability. Entire rooms were open to the sky, decorative surfaces were exposed to decades of weathering and biological growth, floors were lost, ceilings collapsed, and staircases were rendered unusable. After the war, Berlin found itself divided, and the Museum Island fell within East Berlin, under the administration of the German Democratic Republic. The GDR government made limited repairs to the other museums on the island but left the Neues Museum essentially as the war had left it, a decision that was partly a consequence of limited resources and partly, one suspects, a political one, given that the museum's collections and its broader cultural significance were bound up with a conception of German national identity that the socialist state preferred not to foreground. The building stood in its damaged state for decades, its ruins gradually acquiring the quality of an involuntary monument, a physical record of the catastrophe that had engulfed Europe between 1939 and 1945. When German reunification in 1990 made it possible to reconsider the future of the Museum Island as a whole, the question of what to do with the Neues Museum became one of the most charged architectural and cultural debates in contemporary Germany. Several approaches were proposed and discussed. Some voices argued for a complete reconstruction of the building as it had appeared in 1855, a position supported by those who believed that the loss of the original interior decorative program was a cultural tragedy that should be reversed as fully as possible. Others argued for a more radical intervention, for replacing the damaged fabric with an explicitly contemporary structure that would make no attempt to conceal the break with the past. A third position, which ultimately prevailed in the competition that selected Chipperfield's proposal, argued for something more nuanced: the careful conservation of all surviving original fabric, the stabilization and retention of damaged and weathered surfaces, and the reconstruction of lost structural elements using new materials that would be distinguishable from the original without being provocatively contrasting. This third position is easier to state as a principle than it is to execute as an architectural practice, and the distance between the theoretical position and its physical realization is precisely where the genius of the Chipperfield and Harrap collaboration is most fully visible. The approach they develop treats the surviving fabric of the building as a primary material of the design rather than as a problem to be managed. Walls that were partially destroyed and then weathered for 60 years, their plaster surfaces stained with damp, their stone edges crumbled and softened by time, are preserved exactly as found rather than cleaned, repaired, or regularized. The logic here is not romantic ruin worship, not an aestheticization of damage for its own sake, but a genuine commitment to the idea that these surfaces are authentic, that they carry real information about real events, and that to restore them to a hypothetical original condition would be to replace that authenticity with a fiction, however beautiful. In room after room throughout the Neues Museum, you encounter this quality of layered materiality, of surfaces that are simultaneously damaged and cared for, that bear the marks of history without being overwhelmed by them. The conserved fresco fragments that survive on certain walls are stabilized and gently cleaned but not extended or completed. The sections of original floor that remain are retained in their existing condition, while new floor material is introduced in the areas where the original was lost. The transitions between old and new are made with a precision and a consistency that allows the visitor to read the building's history almost spatially, to understand where the bombing was most severe, where the structure survived, where post-war deterioration was most advanced. This is architecture functioning as historiography, as a spatial record of what actually happened rather than a narrative reconstruction of what should have happened or what one might wish had happened. The new elements that Chipperfield introduced to replace what was lost are executed in a deliberately restrained formal vocabulary. New brickwork is laid in a running bond that distinguishes it clearly from Stüler's original masonry, while sharing the same material logic. New concrete elements are board-formed and carefully detailed to read as contemporary without being aggressively so. New plasterwork is applied in a smooth, tonally neutral finish that provides a legible background for the surviving original decorative surfaces without competing with them. The quality of detailing throughout is exceptional, not in the sense of being elaborately decorated, but in the sense of being resolved with extraordinary care at every scale and in every condition. The junctions between old and new materials are consistently treated with a precision that acknowledges the importance of the meeting without dramatizing it. A thinness of joint, a clarity of boundary, a refusal to smear or fudge the transition in ways that would obscure the distinction the design depends upon. The reconstruction of the building's lost circulation infrastructure is one of the project's most significant and most discussed achievements. The main staircase, one of the great lost interiors of German museum architecture, was severely damaged and its decorative program almost entirely destroyed. Chipperfield's response was to reconstruct the staircase as a spatial type, reinstating its position, its dimensions, its structural logic, and its relationship to the surrounding rooms while making no attempt to reproduce the specific decorative language of Stüler's original. The new staircase is executed in brick and concrete, with a material palette and a formal vocabulary that belong entirely to the present, and it sits within the surviving fabric of the building with a dignity and a spatial confidence that have made it one of the most admired architectural interiors of recent decades. It is a room that manages to be simultaneously contemporary and contextual, that honors the spatial tradition of the great 19th century museum staircase without pretending to be one, and that demonstrates that genuine respect for historical context does not require the abandonment of contemporary architectural identity. The political and cultural context of Berlin as a city that has been comprehensively shaped by 20th century catastrophe, by the Nazi period, by wartime destruction, by division and the wall, and by reunification and its unresolved questions of memory and identity, is inseparable from any serious reading of the Neues Museum restoration. Berlin is a city that has been debating for decades how to deal with its traumatic history in physical space, how much to preserve, how much to reconstruct, how much to mark explicitly, how much to allow the fabric of the city to absorb and move beyond. The debates around the reconstruction of the Berlin Palace, the memorials to the victims of the Holocaust, the treatment of the former death strip along the wall, all of these are versions of the same fundamental question that the Neues Museum poses in its most architecturally precise form: what is our obligation to the physical evidence of what actually happened, and at what point does the desire to return to a condition before catastrophe become a form of denial? Chipperfield has spoken about the Neues Museum project, in terms of a responsibility to truthfulness, to making a building that tells the truth about its own history rather than suppressing or sentimentalizing it. This ethical commitment aligns with the broader current in contemporary conservation theory, associated with the Venice Charter and its intellectual descendants, which insist on the importance of distinguishing new interventions from original fabric while respecting the authenticity of what survives. But the Neues Museum goes beyond these theoretical frameworks in the rigorous beauty of its execution, in the way that a set of conservation principles has been transformed into a genuine spatial experience that moves visitors in ways that go well beyond the intellectual appreciation of a well-applied methodology. Critical reception of the Neues Museum has been almost uniformly positive, which is itself unusual for a major architectural project of this visibility and complexity, and the praise has come from a remarkably wide range of perspectives. Historians and conservators have praised the project's theoretical coherence and the quality of the conservation work itself. Architectural critics have praised the formal intelligence of the new interventions and the spatial quality of the reconstructed rooms. Museum professionals have praised the building's functionality as a contemporary museum environment, and the visiting public, which is perhaps the most demanding audience of all, has responded to the building with an intensity of engagement that suggests it is doing something genuinely important at the level of spatial experience rather than merely at the level of professional discourse. The Sterling Prize, the RIBA's award for the most significant piece of architecture of a given year, was awarded to the Neues Museum in 2011, and the project has been cited as a reference point in conservation debates internationally in the years since. If criticism exists, and it always does for projects of this significance, it has tended to focus on the question of whether the restrained contemporary language of the new interventions is perhaps too understated, whether the deliberate quietness of the new staircase and the other reconstructed spaces represents a kind of false modesty that actually privileges contemporary sensibility over the historical context as much as a more assertive intervention would have done, only in the opposite direction. This is a legitimate theoretical concern, and it reflects a genuine tension in conservation practice between the principle of reversibility and distinguishability on the one hand and the risk of producing a contemporary aesthetic signature that is as historically specific and therefore as potentially anachronistic as any other on the other. Chipperfield's response to this concern, implicit in the built work rather than explicitly stated, seems to be that the restraint is not a stylistic choice in the conventional sense but a disciplinary one, a deliberate subordination of the new to the existing that reflects the specific conditions and the specific obligations of this particular project rather than a general architectural position. Museum Island as a whole has undergone substantial transformation in the years since the Neues Museum reopened, with the James Simon Gallery by Chipperfield Architects, completed in 2019, providing a new main entrance and visitor center for the island complex and connecting the various museums through an underground archaeological promenade. The Neues Museum now sits within a broader ensemble that has been thoughtfully developed over decades, and its relationship to the other buildings on the island, to the original Altes Museum by Schinkel, to the Bode Museum, to the Pergamon Museum, has been articulated through a series of public spaces and circulation strategies that treat the island as a coherent urban entity, rather than a collection of isolated institutions. The success of this ensemble approach owes a great deal to the disciplinary clarity established by the Neues Museum restoration, which demonstrated that it was possible to work at this level of historical complexity, with both intellectual seriousness and spatial generosity. What the Neues Museum ultimately asks of us, and what makes it one of the most important buildings of the early 21st century rather than merely one of the most admired, is that we reconsider our most fundamental assumptions about what restoration means and what it is for. If restoration means the erasure of damage, the return to an imagined original condition, the suppression of everything that happened between completion and the present day, then the Neues Museum is not a restoration at all. But if restoration means the careful tending of what survives, the honest acknowledgement of what was lost, the introduction of new elements that serve the building's continuing life without pretending to be something they are not, then the Neues Museum is perhaps the purest example of restoration that contemporary architectural culture has produced. It is a building that erases nothing, that treats every scar and every stain and every fragment of surviving decoration as evidence worth preserving, and that asks its visitors to engage with architectural space not as a seamless aesthetic experience, but as a layered temporal one, as an encounter with time itself made physical and inhabitable. Should architecture erase history or reveal it? The Neues Museum gives an answer that is as complete and as well argued as any building can give, and the answer is not simply that history should be revealed but that the act of revealing it, done with sufficient care and sufficient intelligence and sufficient humility before the complexity of what actually happened, is itself a form of architectural excellence of the highest order. It is an answer that every architect, every preservationist, every urban planner, and every city that has ever had to decide what to do with a damaged or contested building should spend time inside, because some arguments are made more persuasively in space than they ever could be in words. If the Neues Museum and the questions it raises about time, memory, damage, and the ethics of architectural intervention have given you something to think about, we would genuinely like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if this is your first time with UrbArchitect, consider subscribing because this is the kind of question we take seriously every single week, one building at a time.